friends, and welcome back to Kev's Hobby Showcase. I'm, of course, Kevin. You may have also seen me on Tabletop Jones Productions, where John and I are the two idiots playing board games. And today is another painting series for the game Battletech. I'm going to be making another force for the Northwind Highlanders, a mercenary company. I already actually have 2 lances of battlemechs from them from one of the starter sets. But now I'm going to be, I guess you could say, adding reinforcements. So here we go. First we got the gunslinger. Okay. The Highlander. And this one actually gave me a choice of 2. Basically putting it on the base where it looks like it's crushing another mech, or like a cloud of smoke behind it as if it were like using its jump jets. But I chose this. And let's see what else. I got the grasshopper. And last but not least, the Warhammer. Okay, so obviously the first step is to prime all of these. I will be doing that off camera because it is pretty cold outside. And I just don't want to do that setup. I'd rather just lean out my back door and, you know. So probably going to be doing the priming less and less on camera. Just, you know, an FYI on that. And so, you know, but anyway. So I did look up the because I still have in storage in the storage that I have for the Battletech. I still have everything else there, so I haven't had a chance to look at it. So I did take a look, you know, on Camo Specs Online, and it does have a couple of variations of what to do. And the one I chose is what I remember doing the last time. So I'm going to be doing a base coat of tan, deep green. It says deep forest green, but I have deep green. I figure, you know, it's probably the same thing. For the it says on the lower legs and arms to do that, so I'm going to be doing that. So that's like the main color scheme, and then of course I will do my usual. I take out my gunmetal, I'll paint the weapons in that color as well as what looks like the cockpit window, and I have my black to touch up the base because there's most likely going to be paint on the sides of that as well. Now, you know, speaking of the base, I'm probably going to do it differently. I've been doing grassland for the past couple of times. Probably gonna. I'm thinking of doing desert, like desert theme. If not that, snow. But I'm leaning more. Actually, you know what? Snow. I haven't done snow too much, so I'm gonna do snow. The only problem with snow is sometimes as I'm doing it, it looks like a substance I shouldn't have, if you know what I mean. But trust me, it's a terrain thing. It's snow. So yeah, I'll do it in snow this time. I'll do like the whole force in snow. I mean. Listen, just because the base shows one thing doesn't mean you can't use it on any map or other terrain. So it's just decoration basically. So yeah, that's what I'll do. You know, so I'm gonna prime these. I'm gonna wait for them to dry, and when I come back, I'm gonna start on the base coat, which, like I said, is tan. All right, so stay tuned, and I will be right back. Okay, I'm back, and that primer is now dry. So let's get started on these battle mechs. Alright, going to start with the base coat, of course, and then go from there. Alright, so let's put this down to my work area. Alright. So, as I said, the base coat is tan. And the closest I can get is a color called Wooden Deck Tan. But it's tan, so... Okay, what's up with this brush? Try one more time. Okay. Something's on this brush that is bleeding through. So let me put that aside. Gonna get one that I haven't used yet. Sorry for the delay. All right. Oops. Oh. There we go. All right. Much better. Yeah, I need to go through my brushes more often. I think you know, what I got is kind of, you know, on its way out. I got to start replacing it. First, see what I have, because I may need to buy more brushes. Alright, yeah, so as you can see, I'm starting a new force in Battletech, and yeah, I do enjoy painting these, of course. You know, got a lot going on, a lot coming up, I should say, that would involve the game of Battletech, because not only are John and I going to use this game on Tabletop Jones Productions, but I may also use this game on the on the Kev's Hobby Showcase exclusive on Patreon. Yeah, once John and I have decided what we want to do going forward, because we are going to be meeting very soon, actually tomorrow, and we're going to go over everything that we've done so far, everything that we still want to do, and we're going to start making a more definitive schedule to get it all done. So I don't have to be here on this channel saying about how we're going to be posting very soon. At least this time, at least this way I can give a definitive answer to that. Alright. Well, right here, if it can focus on the here and now, the okay, yeah, the tan paint is going on a bit thin, but that's okay, because I used, you know, as you can see, I used the gray primer, so it's not like there's going to be a lot of dark color bleeding through. It's you know, going to be pretty much only this showing up. And even so, I mean, it's, once I'm done, you're going to see, you know, it's kind of, you know, especially when I'm done, when I get to the wash and all that, you know, everything's going to be, you know, standing out. So I've got, like I said, this paint, this color on this, and then, I mean, it did say forest green, but, you know, deep forest green actually. So it, you know, the paints that I get, I never saw forest green, but, or even a deep forest green, but I did see just deep green. So I was like, you know what, close enough. Yeah, I think I've, well, not by anybody who's observed this channel, but I have been asked in the past if I ever would think of doing airbrush, and yeah, it might be a lot faster, but it's like you really have to know what you're doing, and I don't when it comes to that. I mean, I would be messing up way too much. Yeah, just realized I really should. The mech that this one is standing on, I will make another color. I'll grab something. Not sure what color yet, but yeah, I'll think of something. Yeah, these mechs are pretty big, so the base coat is taking, you know, a bit of time. It's not going very, very slow, you know. I mean, I do think I've gotten a little bit quicker with this since I've been doing the, you know, since I started doing the channel. Because before I was doing, you know, this channel, I would paint my stuff, but I would do it so infrequently, and I would let things sit for days for paint to dry before I continued. Sometimes weeks, yeah. So I think it's better that I do it here. It gives me more of an incentive to get it done. You know, as Larry the Cable Guy say, get her done. All right. Okay. Yeah. So it's coming along. Yeah. Just we're a little bit more than halfway done with the base coat. And I just got to figure out how far I'm going to go with the green, because obviously the weapons are going to be painted. You know, I'm going to be painting them gunmetal. So I will be going over this base coat, but that's what base coats are for. You put them on and then you go over them with whatever else you're going to do. Alright, go in there. And one thing I always stress with this channel is I don't do any sensational crap. You know, I try to keep everything as calm as I can. I think I've said in the past is like I don't consider myself Bob Ross, but I try to channel the Bob Ross energy, like basically because he had such a low monotone voice, you know, that could instantly relax you. And I do hope that, I mean, I did get a comment once about how relaxing the painting video was, and I very much appreciate it. And I believe I told the person who made that comment that I appreciated it, that I try to keep things calm here. It's like, you know, I don't talk about relationships, I don't talk about politics, I don't talk about religion, because those are subjects that can get people all riled up. And let's face it, there's enough stuff on the internet to get you all riled up. I don't want to do that here. Here, I want people to tune in and be able to relax and just enjoy the videos, and not get all fired up about about yet another subject. I mean, do I have do I have political views, or do I have views on all that other stuff? Absolutely, I do. I keep it to myself though, because for what I'm doing, you don't need to know that. I'm also active on social media. I mostly just try to promote this channel and the Tabletop Jones channel. I do post personal stuff on some personal accounts. I mean, well, I say personal, but yet I do still use them to promote the channels. Well, I try to use social media for the necessary evil that it is. I know that's how some people think about social media. And to a certain extent I agree, but I also think that it has its uses and can be used for enjoyment and to connect, with people, with family, friends. I mean, I remember when I first started Facebook, I think I was on MySpace before that, and a good friend of mine said, "Hey, all of our friends from high school are on Facebook. You may as well switch over to there." And then it wasn't long after that that MySpace kind of went, the way of the dinosaur. So it was a good thing I moved over, I guess. But I did like MySpace because I was able to. It was like you were able to befriend, like say, like your favorite bands, and then they would post, they would post like music videos, there, and you could just go on and watch them, which is what I usually wound up doing, especially with Iron Maiden. I mean, don't think it's any secret. I'm a big Iron Maiden fan. I think you may have seen me wear the t-shirts while I'm doing the videos. So yeah, I'm an Iron Maiden fan. Okay, there we go. All right, so let's clean this. Okay. Whoa. Okay, and here we go. All right, so base coat is now done, and we're going to let this paint dry. When I come back, we'll start with we'll start with the deep green first, but because of where I would have to apply it, I don't know if I'll be able to do the gunmetal as well, so I might just come back and just do the deep green, let that dry, and then continue after that. But we'll see, because, you know, maybe I can work around it. All right, so anyway, you stay tuned. I will be right back. All right, so the base coat is now dry on these Battlemechs, and I'm going to start on some of these lovely details. All right, so let's get that down here. Okay. All right, so I'm going to start with the green, of course, and see if I can just move on to more, but probably not. All right, so let me see. For this one, it was, well, let's get the lower leg limb first. We'll do everything below the knee joint. All right. All right, so yes, exciting times are ahead. Channel-wise, that is. Because not only am I mean, I do appreciate everybody, and I do mean everybody who's been helping to spread, you know, the word on this channel. It does seem like over, at least in the past month, I've been getting a nice uptick of subscribers. It does seem like almost every week I'm at least getting one new one, so I do absolutely appreciate anybody who's been sharing it, even, you know, just liking, and of course the subscribing, because I know with the liking and with the like, you know, liking and sharing, that absolutely helps. Let's see, where would the, let's see, it says, all right, so it also says lower arms. So, but the thing is, these arms are basically ginormous guns. All right, so you know what? Yeah, gonna have to make an executive decision there. All right, so anyways, I was saying, you know, if, you know, I do appreciate everybody who has been contributing to spread the word about the channel, because basically it's like, you know, my best advocates are for the, you know, people who are already involved. It's a little too much. I don't want to put too much, because then it's just one big bubble of paint and it doesn't go on good. Ooh, see, look at that. Yeah, so anyway, you know, as you know, I'll say it again, I do appreciate any and all support that I've been getting. And I have noticed that the shorts generate a lot more attention, which, you know, I was kind of taken back, but then, you know, it's like, you know, the old expression, short attention span theater. But you know, whatever works. Yeah, can't let that go to waste. So, but anyway, yeah, and I have noticed. I mean, they do give us like a whole, slew of analytics for the channel so that we can kind of track like what's working and what isn't, so to speak. So, um, so yeah, I have been noticing that, like I said, not only that the shorts get a lot more attention, get a lot more views, a lot more likes, but they also, on occasion, generate subscribers. But again, I appreciate all of it. So, I do thank you. I do thank everybody who's been involved. All right. So, yeah, I'm gonna have to wait when I'm done with the green on all of them. I'm gonna have to wait for it to dry before I go further, because there is going to be some parts I'm gonna have to go over with the gunmetal, especially. But the one thing I will do before I do that little break is I'll grab this one again and do the I took out a gray color for that that pieces of the piece of the battlemech that one is standing on. So yeah, I'll get that done. So anyway, as I was saying, like I said, I do appreciate the support, and if anybody can is able to go over to Patreon and become a member, because I will be having videos there, the videos that I used to do here that I'm not going to do here anymore. That would also be greatly appreciated, and I will do my best to be as entertaining as possible on Ked's Hobby Showcase Deluxe. Yeah, it's looking like maybe I should have let I should have let these things dry a bit more. Some areas are still a little bit wet, and it's showing as I'm trying to paint it. Of course, this isn't the best brush that I'm using. I may have to get rid of this one when I'm done. Got some of the bristles a bit frayed out. Alright, so okay, I'm running into the same issue as far as painting the lower parts of the arms, because they're basically both these ginormous guns. So I'll just leave them because I'm going to go over them. I mean, even if I painted them green, I'd be going over them in gunmetal, so it's not like it's even worth it. Okay. I mean, I don't know if any of you saw in the other camera angle before I tilted the camera down. Yes, my Christmas lights are up. I put them up on the inside because I live at a dead end, so there's nobody coming. There's nobody going to be passing by and enjoying the lights. So I decided this a long time ago. I decided, you know what? I enjoy the lights. So I actually went around the edges of my ceiling in this area of the house, and I put these plastic hooks, the adhesive ones, the one that you use the double stick tape to put it up. So I got those up in different spots on the wall, and actually also on the ceiling, so I can go across the room. And yeah, so and I basically I put it up on the inside. So I figured, you know what? Like I said, I enjoy it. So, and then so now let me just say, because it's, I mean, right now it's daylight, so even if I were to try to pan around, it wouldn't be the same. I did take a video that I was sharing on social media of it. Oh, sorry, wrong one. I did take a video that I was sharing on social media, with it. But I might put it up as a short here. I don't know yet. And when it's dark, when it's after sundown, the effect is just so much better. It just looks so much better. And even my kids were commenting on it. I believe my daughter was asking me if I was using any type of filter, and I don't use filters on any video that I do. So I said, of course, no. And she was like, she's like, I don't know why, because it looked a little blurry, but it looks so good like that. And I was like, and I was actually saying, yeah, I don't know, I didn't use any filter. I don't know why it did that, but, it did. And I mean, I was looking at the video and I really liked that everybody was, making nice comments, even guys that I work with who I thought would just make jokes about it. They were actually making some really nice comments about it. And I felt really good. All right. Oh, all right. So anyway, let's get back up here. Okay, so I'm gonna let that paint dry, and whatever on the base coat that still hasn't dried yet, because I did realize while painting there was some areas that was still a little bit wet, but it didn't go too badly. So I'm gonna let that dry, and when I come back, I'm gonna use the gunmetal on the weapons and the cockpit window, and then I'm gonna use the black on the base, because reason why the videos before where it still looked good is because I was using black primer. I'm not using black primer this time, so now I really do have to touch up the base. So like I said, I'm gonna let this dry, and I'll be right back. All right, so stay tuned. All right, I'm back. I'm giving that paint some time to dry, and I'm going to start to use the gunmetal and then the black. All right, so let's get on with it. Usually I say let's get to it. Oh well. Sometimes you gotta switch it up. All right. Here we go. All right. Yeah. So as I was saying before, there's a lot of stuff going on. So hopefully, well, what we're all trying to do here is make the channels better, keep everything going well. Yeah, so with everything I'm doing, with everything I mentioned, everything here, everything on the deluxe, on Patreon, everything on Tabletop Jones, always, it's all just meant to entertain. I mean, well, Tabletop Jones, it's all about games and gaming and all that, tabletop gaming, not video gaming. And everything I'm doing, it's all about hobbies, which I do enjoy. Although I will admit that I really haven't been able to enjoy them as much as I like, because of well, both time and money. A lot of little guns here. Alrighty, let's see, anything else? Well, actually, let's see. I think my personal opinion is that in here is where the cockpit is. So there. Okay. That's one. That's one. Let's see about getting the rest of them. All right. So. Yeah, this is the Highlander mech, and I do remember when I was using this on on their video game, well, computer game, I should say. The Highlander does have quite a few weapons. All right, this little. So when because I mean, I'm sure by now everybody who's watched the videos knows that while I do this, I also put up pictures of the mechs, especially if I'm building a force. I'll keep on putting up pictures of the mechs in the force and all that. So of all the units in the force, I should say. I think I just put some green paint where I didn't want to. What I'm going to do with this is when I do take the final picture of the entire force, I'm going to dig out the itch in my nose. I'm going to take out the ones that that were done before and include it into the picture. Now back here, these are technically the jump jets. And even though I'm not using the attachment part that made it look like they were active, I do want them to stand out. Alright, if any of you hear that, what sounds like a saw or drill, I do apologize. Someone on the block is doing work. And if you've seen any of my other videos, you know that when that happens, it's loud and can be heard. Sounds like it actually sounded like somebody was using like a circular saw or something like that. Alright. Oh. So we're moving along quite nicely. Yeah, I remember, when I was doing the green paint on that the Highlander one, I said I was going to get the mech that it was standing on. I mean, then I kind of forgot that, so I'm going to do it after getting the gunmetal on. And it should not interfere with me doing the base. I mean, the black on the base. It should not interfere with that. Okay, now on this one, where it is. Okay, all right. Now I gotta keep my thumb off of that, because I'm gonna be painting this color. And if I put my thumb on it again, I will be taking the color off. All right. All right. Okay, now well, I should say little itty bitty. It's still pretty big, but little guns here. All right. And now we go to the grasshopper. Okay, it's getting, now this one doesn't have as much, but it does have something right there actually. Oh, it does have a little something on the arms, so let's get that. Alright, getting this just about done. At least done with this color. Anything else that I could see? No. Alright. Alright, so we are done with the gunmetal. Alright, I'm going to save that for the black. Let me put the gunmetal away. Take out the gray and get the base of that one in now. I figured just to make it easier. All right. Put it in a nice neutral color. Because I don't even know which faction I would want to show these guys giving the beat down to. Okay. Yeah, because then once I'm done with the base, I gotta let all this dry, and then before I come back I'll be doing the labels. Okay, that's all I needed for that. Oop, dang it. Let's get this. So I could get the... Alright. And here's where I get a fair amount of black paint on my fingers. But that's okay. It's like I always say. If you see me and I have paint on my fingers, it means it was a good day. Okay. Alright. And I think one thing I will do when I take a break is check the batteries of the camera. And I think I was just about, I think I was, pretty far down. Almost done, almost done, almost done. Alright. Okay. Alright. So I'm going to take a break. It's going to be a nice long one. I'll get some things taken care of for you here. You know, like the labels. And I got to wait for that paint to dry before I could even put them on. Alright. Okay. So like I said, I got to let that paint dry. I'm going to get the labels on. When I come back, I'm going to do the base and then the wash, and then it's all finished. Alright, so stay tuned, and I will be right back. Okay, I'm back, and that paint is now dry, and the labels are on. So now, basically, all that's left is the base and then the wash. Alright, so let's get to it. Alright. So, see, got plenty of that. So, as I always say, especially as times get tough for me financially, just make do with what I got. Alright. Okay, yeah. Here we go. Like a light coat of snow. Alright. Alright, this one not going to cover as much because of what's on the base. So get as much as we can, of course. Put a little bits here. Let's see how that works out. Not too bad. I mean, it's like the Battlemech that it's standing on has a bit of a light coat of snow, which isn't bad. Alright. Okay. One thing about basing it like this is that it can go pretty quickly. Alright, so let's just press down some of the parts of the label there that's coming up. Alright. Alright, and it's okay if it gets on like the lower part of the legs, because you're in a Battlemech, you're going to be walking through snowdrifts and whatnot, and it probably will stick. I did. Okay, just wanted to make sure I took. I keep a label on the bottom of these so that I can identify what they are while I'm painting them and doing all this stuff. Just wanted to make sure I took the label off. Alright, that's going to be the last one with that. Oop. Okay. Okay. Alright, so this can go away. Might use it for a few more times when I'm doing this type of thing. Alright, now the wash. where you can get a little bit of black paint into every nook and cranny of the Mini, and make all those little features stand out. All right, that's one. Oh. Actually forgot a weapon. Oh well. All right. Okay. Just about done with this one. Okay. That's two. And man, it really does make it stand out, don't it? Alright. Getting there, getting there, getting there. Just about done, just about done, just about done. Alright. Going to the last one. Okay, getting really close. And that's it. Oh, actually, a little bit more on the head. Okay, now that's it. All right, let's close that up. All right, okay. Now let me get these ready. And here they are. A lance of Battlemechs for the Northwind Highlanders. Ready to deploy on the battlefield. Alright, so that's what I got for today. That's all I got for today. Please like, subscribe, and share as much as possible. Please go to Tabletop Jones Productions and do the same. I do hope that you enjoyed this video, and like when you like, subscribe, and share, it helps to support the channel and allows me to put out more videos like this. All right, so thank you very much. You have a great day. Take care of yourselves, and I'll see you again.